Hey friends, how you doing here? It's Rick here from Rock Island. I believe it's 26 February. Winter is coming to a close and it's over 70 degrees here in Rock Island, Illinois today, which is very warm for February, but I'll take it. So tonight, definitely a Christian talk tonight, although anybody can listen to it because I think this subject is apropos for anybody, but it's definitely a Christian point of view here. So I've touched on this before. This is a little different twist on it. Something to think about. A lot of people are not happy where they are. I see that today, especially with the way the economy is, various reasons, and there's a lot of depressions and things going on for various reasons. I think one of the main reasons we have lack of faith. We have more atheists in this country on record than we've had in decades. And it just seems like we also have more depression. If you don't think there's a correlation there, then you're not looking. But that's for another conversation. Bottom line is we have a lot of unrest. People are just not satisfied. I'm here to tell you that when you wake up in the morning, I did this morning especially, just thank the Lord for what you have. Here's what I mean. So you're a human being in this world. 2024. And you live in the United States. Most people that will look at this, I know I have some friends that are outside of the country, but that are on Facebook, but the majority of people live in this country, right? So we have more than many people have just by being in this country. You were created and put in this country. You could have been created in Israel where they're fighting terrorism all the time. In the Arab countries where the peasants are terrorized by their own Arab counterparts that are terrorists and extreme Muslims. You could have put in Uganda and different places in Africa where there's extreme poverty, third world nations. But you weren't. You were put in this country. And most people that will listen to this, probably everybody, even if you're at your worst, you have more than any of those people I talked about. You could have been put as a citizen of Ukraine. Now, I'm not going to make opinions in Ukraine. Russian war, it's political. I have my opinions. Keep away from that for this video. But either way, the poor people of Ukraine, the citizens, are not to blame. And a lot of them have lost their family members, their house, and everything. Like they've been destroyed by the war. You could have been there, but you're not. As one of my co-workers said that his wife comes from Ukraine and he's been traveling to Europe a lot. He said, we're much safer in this country, even at our worst, than a lot of other places in the world. And he's very right. He's very right. We don't see that though. Now, just think about this. You've been made, as we believe in Christians, image and likeness of Christ. That means you have a right to understand. You have a soul. And you have a right to make decisions, free will. And you have a hope of salvation. Humans only have that. You could have been made a dog or a cat. Some people say, oh, I'd like that. Great life. Really? Okay, well, you'd probably be dead by now. Because if you're an adult listening to this, they don't live much past, 12 years if you're a big dog, maybe a little more if you're a small dog. Cat can get 15, 16, if sometimes even less. But if you're lucky, the best you can get that, maybe 18. So you'd all be dead by now if you were an animal. You want that? You want to be dead? Or you could have made into a wild animal, or a stray dog, or a feral cat, or a wildebeest that gets eaten by hyenas and tigers and lions. Those types of deer and elk and stuff like that get shot and eaten by other animals. You want that? You were made a human. Just think about that for a second. You could have been made into a dung beetle that walks around in crap, a spider, a fly. You could have been created as a fly that has a 5-day lifespan. Or a wasp, a stinging wasp that has like 11 to 12 days lifespan. That's it. That's all they have. But no, you were made into a human. You were made into a human. Just think about how great that is. Okay? You could have made it to be, you could have been created as a fish that gets eaten by other fish, eaten by a human who catches it and fries it. But no, you were made into a human. And if any of you have a child or children or a wife or a spouse or family or loved ones, Be thankful for that. That's wonderful. It really is. If you stop and think of the blessings you have, even if your life is tough, for now, everybody goes through tough stages, myself included, everybody goes through tough stages. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. But just think of the alternatives. You were made into a human being with a chance of salvation. How wonderful that is. And if your life is not where it wants to be, this is not true of everybody, especially if you're getting older, like me, people I know and stuff like that, and you're not where you need to be, or at least what you think you need to be. As I said this before, a lot of times decisions we've made during life. I know friends of mine, I'm not making any judgments, like they don't want to stop drinking, excessive drinking, smoking, but they never have money for anything else. Well, you get an alcohol problem, you can change it. My dad had a problem for about 7 years, from 85 to 92, and it wasn't fun. My brother can attest to this. If he looks at this, it wasn't fun. But he stopped it. I know a friend I go to the gym now who was only in his 30s, and he admitted he needed help. He was very much of an alcoholic. But he's changed his life around because he went to AA. He went and sought the help. It's nothing bad saying you need assistance and you can't do it alone. There's nothing wrong with that. Pride is often our killer. We don't want to do that, especially as men. We don't want to do that because it's a sign of weakness. No. It's a sign of strength that you realize you are limited and you need assistance from the Creator and from others here on this earth. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's the guy at the gym we're talking about is a hell of a success story. Excuse my jaw here. He is a financial consultant, doing himself very well, has a new girlfriend. He's in his 30s. Very nice man. He'll always be an alcoholic because you always are. But he knows that. But he took the steps. There are always agencies to help you if you want them. A lot of people they don't want to know, they don't want to admit that they have a problem. If your life is not where it needs to be, think back to decisions you've made during your life. Because oftentimes, not all, I understand sometimes things are out of our hands. But if you're getting older, especially, oftentimes decisions that you made in your life is why you're where you are. And you get to take a good look at yourself and say, no, what are the steps I have to do now, every day, to improve? With the help of the Lord, of course. Sometimes things not going to change overnight, but you have to do everything you can, one day at a time, to improve your life, even in the slightest way. And you'll start to feel better about yourself. But if you're jealous, and another thing, if you think your life is not as good because your friends have a better car and a better house and more money, if that's all that drives you, then even if you get it, you're never going to be very happy. Because if that's all it is about getting more materialism than the rest of the people you know, or having a better status, if that's your driving goal, you need to focus. You need to get your focus straight. Because that's never going to be, you're never going to get there. Chances are you're never going to get there. And even if you did, you'd find out it's not really what you think. Because when you leave this world, none of that stuff comes with you. Be thankful for what you've been given. Take a look around when you wake up in the morning. I got a wonderful spouse, or a wonderful family, or children, or a child, or whatever I have. I have food on my plate. I know you may say, well, I want more. Okay, be thankful for what you have. That's where it starts. Your attitude will become better. You'll be much more positive, and you'll be able to deal with things much finer. Be thankful for friends and people that do care for you too, because again, animals don't have that. Creatures of the wild don't have what we have as humans. They don't have that knowledge. You were created as a human, image and likeness of Christ. That's wonderful. Just think about that. God bless and have a great night.